I feel more attractive now that I'm not a fucking whale. What the fuck, man?
Not only is that video spot on for how formerly fat people behave, it is reinforced socially. When I went through all my weight loss stuff, it wasn't that I was only celebrated by the people around me. It was also celebrated by my college, magazines, newspapers. I was on the Today Show. We collectively believe that being fat and gaining weight is a failure. And the only way you can earn respect is to not have that weight anymore. And then surprise, we all internalize that and then behave accordingly. Oh no, I think you look beautiful. I just don't like how I look. No, I can date fat people. I find fat people attractive. I just feel disgusting when I'm fat. Do you see how toxic that sounds? Respectfully, your weight and your body, one of the most boring things about you.
No, I don't see how toxic that is. Not to brag or anything, but I have a decent amount of muscle. But as a gay man, I am not attracted to dudes who are just more muscular than me or just as muscular. Is that weird? I don't think it is. I also don't like having short hair. Is that offensive to people who have short hair? No, because there's absolutely nothing wrong with having a preference for your own body. It's your body.
Does anyone else also really change their opinion about somebody once they start talking about the gym, losing weight, what they're eating?
No, I don't change my opinion on them because I'm hot. And hot people don't make other people's life decisions about them if it doesn't directly affect them.
Looks like someone's mad. Go cry about it, bitch.
And here we have Marissa with things no one with a pulse has ever said.
I don't know what it is that makes me feel like this.
Marissa again with words no multi-celled organism has ever uttered.
What an odd thing to say. What a peculiar thing to say.
Marissa again with... You get the fucking point, man. This is why I don't include your stupid ass in my videos anymore.
Let me clear this up just once and for all. I never delete comments that are logical. In fact, if you go to a lot of my videos that have a ton of comments, you'll see some comments that are of people with different perspectives. My criteria for deleting comments is if it's fatphobic or if it's rude. What y'all keep doing is confusing logic with fatphobia. The comments that are all disagreeing logically are just saying like, fat people die early. Yes, fat actually does cause deaths, which aren't true, and I'm not gonna allow that shit on my page. And there is a difference between asking a genuine question and just trolling. I answer genuine questions. I keep those up. Y'all are just mad that I won't tolerate fatphobia. And yes, even if you don't think your take is fatphobic, if I deleted it, it probably was. Health is so much more complex than just fatphobia.
I mean, the things you listed are true, though. I don't know if you've been watching the news lately, but there's this virus going around, and it's fatphobic as fuck. Even if we ignore that, there's tons of studies which confirm obesity decreases the length of your life. You weren't just deleting comments that were mean. You were deleting comments that said what you didn't want to hear.
Thomas is a lawyer and got arrested. Are you shitting my dick?
As far as I'm aware, surgery is the only way to cure PCOS, but feel free to correct me in the comments. But did you know that research shows that weight loss can alleviate symptoms of PCOS? Abdallah and others 2020 reviewed a ton of studies, and what they found is that the severity of PCOS is associated with increased visceral fat and increased insulin resistance. And that weight loss in several studies has been shown to improve all three of these. So if your doctor is suggesting weight loss for your PCOS, you might want to listen to him because he's giving you evidence-based care.
I bullet journal, so I have trackers for everything. They won't even look at them. Every doctor ever has asked me for a food log, though, even though none of my issues are weight-related. And when I tell them I can't have a food log because it ties directly into my eating disorder history and would trigger the shit out of me, they ask if I need help with healthier ways to lose weight. I don't need to lose weight. I need to have functioning limbs.
So let me get this straight. You want high quality medical care, but you also want to give your doctor incomplete information about what goes on outside his office. Girl,
Somebody ain't doing the math right.
Let's talk about body preferences. I've heard a lot of talk like, oh, I don't hate fat people, but I'm not attracted to them, and I don't want to date them. It's just my preference. Maybe, in an ideal circumstance, in a world that was forever body neutral and did not demonize fat people, that could be a preference. Maybe. But is there really such a thing as preference in a society that exclusively demonizes an option? Fat people are branded as disgusting, branded as something to be eliminated, unhygienic, lazy, XYZ, everything else. And we've received that messaging since we were born. Our culture is deeply rooted and entrenched in fat phobia. Chances are it's not just a preference, and you've just been taught to think fat people are gross.
there's 7 billion people in this world. Do you think it's impossible for at least one to be totally bodily neutral and still not be attracted to fat people?
I've recently come to realize that thin people just have no idea how fat phobic the world is. So I'm starting a series bringing awareness to the various ways that the world, specifically the US, is fat phobic. Today's example is airplane seats. Now, I haven't done a whole lot of flying, especially as a fat person. I've recently gained enough weight to become a fat person. But I've been on enough planes to know that it is most airlines and most seats. So I know that this is a horrible picture, but it's the best that I could get when I was on the plane last. And if you can see right here and right here, my hips are basically being squished into this seat. I am a size 16-18, which is the average size of the American woman. And I've run out of time. See you in part 2.
I just want to bring attention to how silly the complaints of these people are. Like, this is beyond first world problems, because there are people in the first world who have legitimate issues like, oh, I want to be able to marry my partner. Or, oh, I want to be able to walk down the street and not be harassed. Like, this is beyond first world problems. It's absurd.
These are my favorite fucking comments. People really are just like, well, I don't want to be fat because... Like, okay, go tell someone who cares.
Notice how she doesn't address the comment at all. The commenter gave a legitimate reason. They're trying to stay fit. The quality of life of the people on that show is abysmal.
What an odd thing to say. What a peculiar thing to say.
So Marissa's caption says, so we're attacking potatoes, but the commenter says, you can eat potatoes. Girl.
Are you stupid or something?